Hey everybody and welcome back. I am Titan9, and I hope you have all enjoyed your starter events. I played at quite a few myself, met some lovely opponents, collected all the starter packs that I needed for my collection. Had a lot of lovely matches with people. It was a great time, and a lot of great stores in my area, so no complaints there. But we now have to shift gears. Newtype Rising is coming out, the first booster set from the Gundam card game, and the events for this will be sealed. And I'm going to do a couple of videos kind of walking through the process of how to approach sealed. This intro will be at the beginning of all the videos, so just look at the timestamps if you've already watched one of them, and you can just skip ahead to the deck building part of the video. The sealed rules have done a lot of changing over the course of my practicing for it, so it's been a bit of a wild ride. At the beginning, everybody was sort of assuming that it was going to be 6 packs, 40 cards, no color restrictions. And Wing Table here, if you're a patron, you get to do sealed events on it, of which I am. So I was practicing that here for a while, and that felt pretty reasonable. And then suddenly it became, all right, now it's 8 packs, 30 cards, no color restrictions, which I thought was crazy because that's almost 100 cards. And you at least a color restriction would just keep people from playing all of their rare cards together. But then it turned out that in Japan, their packs have half the cards in them. So in reality, what we seem to have finally settled on is that there will be 4 packs for everybody, still 30 cards, and no color restrictions. That is kind of a different animal. What I've been noticing in playing the 8 was just, you made an awesome deck with that. That wasn't too hard. 6 was interesting. You could get a pretty decent deck if you kind of knew the right way to approach it. With only 4 packs, essentially cutting out 19 cards. And also you have to be aware that a significant portion of your 30-card deck, 6 cards, all right, you want to do some math there. It's 20% of your deck is not even going to be accessible to you unless they have a burst effect on them. And obviously 5 cards are in your hand, so people do the math, and you're like, oh, there's only 19 cards in my deck. Uh-oh. Games don't seem to go too long, but there's less synergy happening. It's just sort of like your vanilla dudes maybe sometimes have an effect against my vanilla dudes. If you're lucky, you get a Link Pilot. I've seen some people online argue about how many bases to include. At the end of the day, you're going to find about 2 or 3, maybe a little more, but I don't like that 04 base either, so I don't like to include it if I don't have to. So you don't really have a lot of choice, I guess, in a lot of your deck decisions. Some people were like 4 to 6, but you're not even going to see 4 to 6. Pretty much 98% of the time, you're only looking at 4 packs. Packs sometimes have no bases in it, sometimes 1. I think they're all common, so you could see some more, but I haven't. The most I've seen when I've done these has been 3. And usually it's that 04. I try not to include it if I don't have to, but it does have a nice little benefit of like bouncing a thing. I just haven't seen a lot of value in that. That's a nice tempo play, but sealed isn't really about tempo because your decks can't take advantage of that. But that's just me getting into the weeds here. I'll kind of go in the specifics with each sealed pull that we do. We will play a game. Wing Table's attempt to make progressive matches harder is to just give the opponent an extra resource at the beginning of the game. Not an EX resource, an actual factual resource. And when you had 6 packs you were opening, you could find enough synergy pieces together to get ahead of that. And you could definitely do it when you had 8 packs. But at 4 packs, what I've been finding is you just get run over because there's not a lot of synergy, and the objectively powerful cards coming down first, it becomes, imagine you're going first on your turn 1 play. You have nothing to do with your 1 resource. Your opponent starts with 2 and the EX resource. So on their first turn, they play a Rickdom, and they don't even have to get rid of that EX burst. So they just get this 3/3 breach guy, and your first play on turn 2 is maybe a 2/2. If you're lucky, it's a Zaku 2. Like, it's just so hard to come back, and they're still going to play bigger and bigger units after you. So it's not fun for you guys to watch. You can win when they have the extra resource, but you have to get very lucky, or they have to get very unlucky. It's not good gameplay, so we will open up the pack, see what we have, walk through some deck building decisions, play one match with the deck where the opponents are in a usual resource allotment, and then afterwards we'll check in and see, like, did that work? Is there something we like to switch out? Did we leave something out that could have been better? And that's how the process will go. But thank you for staying tuned for this a little bit of a long intro, but let's actually dive in and get into some games, shall we? All right, thank you. If you have listened to the intro, hopefully that was helpful. If you've seen my other videos, hopefully you just skipped ahead to the time signature or used it as a good refresher. I don't know how often you're watching these videos. But let's open up our next pool. What do we have here? Okay, I like this card, generically good. A 3/2 for 2. That's kind of like a strike dagger. That's pretty good. I like this card. It's a good turn 1 play. If we find a duo, this card actually just might be good without a pilot. It's just a good card. Oh, wait, but we could stick a pilot on it, and it would be even better. Just mow down little guys. Let's see, our rare gun tank, good. Orb, if we find I think Kigali's the only pilot that does that. But if we find some units with blocker, we have an Archangel on a body. It's not bad. This card, there are a lot of Academy. Oh, look, right here, we could do that. That would be pretty neat, decent. That'd be a 6/3. I like this pack. I like it. Let's go to our next one. All right, I've said it in other videos, I do like this card. There are some Xeon cards it goes on. I like that even if it doesn't link with something, it does get this effect. Breach 1 is good and sealed. There are not a lot of bases you're going to have. In our 2 packs, we have yet to see 1. So our best chance is we see 3, but probably it will be 1, maybe 2. Something to keep in mind. Our rares. If we find some Zaft links, this could be okay. We're not likely to find many link units as well. So that's probably not super useful. It's just a 1/1. Oh, this isn't uncommon. So you're a rare? Okay. Evan needs Nicole. Right. But we do get this effect. It needs 5 or more AP. We're probably not going to get to activate this. This is just paired. So this is the effect we'll likely get to use. So that's pretty sweet. I like this card in this format. This 1 damage. The cards that do like 1 damage, they'll come up a lot. Because it's a lot of 3 3s, 3 4s, 2 3s, and 2 2. They're all like dinging up against each other, so it's a good way to finish off a unit. Pretty good, considering our last pool wasn't the best. So there are some Earth Federation generics, so hopefully we can find one of those. This, an interesting card for constructed, not really useful here. I like this ability though with the weak booty. It can really only draw 1. Hey, look at Benager. So that could pair well with our unicorn. That's pretty nice. And she should be able to pair to that unicorn too, and it will be a link. So that's pretty good. All right, this pool's shaping up pretty well. Another Earth Federation if we find some of those. This isn't likely to come up in this pool, but I look forward to the pool where it does. Just a good card. Let's go to our next pack. All right, so here we go. Generic Earth Federation thing. We'll be able to utilize that. Not a bad. That goes well with that Makuve. Where were you in my Chang Rufei pool? Just a good card. This is probably just a good card to include on its own. This would go well with our Cyber Newtypes. We really got something here. Oh, yeah. Just a 2/2 for 2. It's not terrible. All right. Let's build a deck. This will be fun building a deck this time. We got some wiggle room. Let's look at our levels. So pilots first. I like to go pilots first to know what I'm working with. Xeon things are a plus. Earth Federation, a plus. Theoretically Zaft, but I don't remember seeing a lot of them. Theoretically Academy. Definitely we have some nice new type synergies at the top end. Let's put those in. And our bases, we have none. 0 bases. This is why I bring up people arguing about how many bases should we include in a deck. You might just get none. Don't argue with it. The answer probably is, how many did you pull? That, or maybe that -1. That's how many bases you put in your deck. All right, another Federation unit. I don't like his command card all that much, though it could work well with the couple of Breach units we have. But if we have enough Earth Federations, I'll consider it. This may be, probably not this. Just taking a turn off isn't useful. Maybe this, because we are doing a lot of trading, but there might not be enough room, so I'm not going to rush it. Don't care about this. This is too expensive and too situational. We might not use... Just on the basis of that, we might include this. Just because we have a little room. Maybe this, we'll see. Riddy, we're going to include, at worst case, it's a +1/+1. I don't think any of our units have repair. I'll double check that. Maybe this. So let's take a look at our units, though. All right, we know we have this sweet top end up here. We want to take advantage of that. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, it's the Banshee. It's not the Unicorn. That's why. Well, still works well with our Merida. And certainly Merida works well here. So Banagher, we're just having on because it's a +2/+2. I'm not going to complain about that. That is pretty beefy. Girazulu, Nicol, we can't use. Just Wufei, we don't have. Orb, we don't have. We do have that one Earth Federation. We're probably going to use this because it's Zeon with Makuve. Were any of these Zeon? Did I skip that? I didn't believe so. Neo Zeon. Oh, we're obviously going to have you. And probably going to have you. Let's assume we're going to have our sweet, sweet cards in the deck. Generically good cards. We want both of you. Let's see. Earth, no Link, no... okay, but it does have Repair, so that could work well. It's a good card, but it could work well with our Riddy as well. Zeon goes well with our Makuve. Don't love this card. If I had some Sayla or two, maybe, but don't love it. Really wish I had Sayla with this card, but we'll see. 3/2 might be good enough. This card, 4, is just nice, and if we put that pilot on it, that'll be good. I don't think we have any other Academy links, though, too. We have no Earth links. Good card. Academy trait. Okay, well, there we go. That works well with our Elan. Goes well with our Makuve. Not great, but can attack other standing units if we want something that's tricky. 2/3s I actually do like. Both Zeon, and it's just a good card to help me search things. I don't really like a lot of these one-cost things, but this has a really nice utility. It's a lot better than this utility, and it would go well with our Makuve. So we know we're going to have our Makuve now. We know we want our Elan. I've not been sold on any of these yet, and obviously no bases. So we currently have 4 cards to add. Possibly this one is something I'm looking at. This just generic 2/2 could be good too. Any of these? I like this. There's a little pinger that could be good, but do I have a lot of low-cost things? I worry I am top-heavy, so I want to have at least 2 more low-cost things. The 2/2s just aren't fun. A 2/3, though, I think is okay. I do have a fair amount of level 2s to play out, and I do have Dops that can kind of fill in that early part of the curb. If I wanted to, I could just do that. It's very situational, but am I more likely to use that than this support? Yeah, support just seems like it could help more, and it's support 2. That's actually pretty good. I don't really have to worry about blocker, so this would theoretically be better. This is only a 3/3. We're never going to have a Zaf unit with 5 or more AP, so that's not super helpful. This one, though, just like constantly ping them. We don't have to tap this. We just get to play it. 4/2 is a little frail, but it's alright top end. I like it. And then a 3/3. Or do I need to go a little lower? That's on turn 4. I can play this. Because really our level 4s, this is our levels. Our level 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to try this, and if our curve ends up looking all wonky, we'll go from there. Well, maybe that's the thing. Like, we're not really set up to play a long game. But this can clear out things, but it has to be rested. We don't have any bases. We're not set up to play a long game. We do have to kind of come out quick. So maybe that's where you're useful too. You obviously trade, but we get to get rid of something that's not useful. There's a lot of deal 1 damage to stuff, though. Maybe that's why I want you. We'll try the G fighter. I'm just looking at our 2-cost things, level 2 things. I want to make sure we have stuff we can play. I am going to put in this Kigali Skygrasper. It worked out well in one of my recent sealed pools. That one, I think, is on video. That might be recency bias. Maybe I'm overthinking the lack of base, because if I draw that late, it might not be super useful. All right, I'll try to play a little more rational. We'll try this out, but we'll see. I have never had a pool that had 0 bases. I've had many 1 base, and it's usually a 4. HP base, which I haven't loved, but we're going to give it a try. There's a lot to like about this deck, but it could be very frail. And we can come down quick. This can go after things if we're trying to play defensive. This could bounce something if that were to come up. Don't love this pilot. I guess like when is the good time to draw? I guess not on turn 1 when I've got nothing else I can do. But I know I've got stuff I can do for the first 3 turns. We will not take a mulligan. And we'll see. We are going first. Okay, that's not a bad draw. Okay, we're just going to chill. Probably, let's see what they play. Yeah, this can't even kill that. So I'll deal with this, and then I can get rid of their base. Unless they have a blocker. Yeah, we're going to stick with this. Because this has that link, so we could rush. This guy's actually crazy. It's a 2/2 for 2, and it has an academy trait. I guess there are all those 2/2s for 1 cost at level 2. We could put Benager on this duo, on this Leo, and just like mow down a couple of things with it. That'd be kind of kooky. I also could put Benager on this and make a 6/4 and rest something. I don't hate that idea. If they want to trade here, that's fine. All right, we know we're doing this. Probably this, and maybe give it an extra defense so it can kill more things. This can't bounce anything at the moment, so maybe save that. I would like to... I can't play that pilot anyway. I don't have an Earth Federation unit. Oh, this. So I could play these next turn to breach something. So let's play this. Right, this just needs... I need an Earth Federation to tap. And then I can tap one of their units. And then he can breach in and go get them. This is an Earth Federation unit, but it only links with Cyber Newtypes. So and then it would be a 4/4. That'd be kind of nice. We'll see what they play, though. If they play something big, this would just die, and it wouldn't be worth it. 9. I don't care about that. But also, I don't need to tap something down. I could just go here. And kill that right now, and deal damage to that. But also, is trading worth it here? I guess I wouldn't trade. This would still live. Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's do it. Going to attack your Cancer. Away it goes. Okay. That is annoying. It wouldn't have changed anything here. It's just that attacking doesn't do anything now. And I can't play this pilot. This pilot doesn't beef up the AP. Could play this, tap that, and trade again. But is that worth it? So they're unlikely to rush you in sealed. You don't have to play around that unless it would be like something catastrophic. So if I trade here and then they find a way to rush and kill this, I'm probably killing their thing at the same time. Turn 5, we could put this on that if we wanted to, if we were kind of crazy like that. I could try to go wide here and play these 2 units to hit it next turn. But if my things do, if this doesn't die, I can one-shot that base. And just really keep going in there. I have no bases left, right? So I am on a clock. Maybe getting rid of any attacking units is helpful for that. Yeah, all right, let's do that then. Oh, wait, this is the... No, yeah, hold on. Am I reading this right? Okay, this will still be... I was speaking a little wrong. This will still be a 4/3, because I'm using the command version of this, not the effect. So it is a little more dieable, but I do still think this should kill whatever would be able to rush it at level 4. Just to be clear. This is why you practice, to kind of learn the... Tap that. Resting that. Okay. I just had to click a second time. All right. And we will go in. We'll kill you. If this hadn't been a base, I would have just attacked again. Probably would have played these 2 units, or these 2 units, waiting until I find a good opportunity for this one. And wait there. I might have maybe also would have played this to attack their attackers as they come. I'm thinking of this as the defensive sort of thing. Okay, if they had the Elan there, we would not have been able to trade, but at least we would have gotten a breach in out of it. I am going to go get rid of that base. I'm on a clock now. That's what I have to consider. I'm on a 6 attack clock. If they want to start trading with me, that's fine. I have a lot of units here. This obviously wouldn't kill it, but at least they're not attacking my shields. I kind of want to give them bait when you think about that, right? 3 less HP, so that wouldn't work on that. But I could keep this in mind in case there are blockers that they might play to slow me down. That would be no good for me. This still doesn't do anything. These are all 2/2s anyway, so I will play you in case I do need to attack an active unit next turn. Oh, I should have played this. That was some oversight. Just because of the... Well, I could... Well, this actually might not matter. Okay, so they've done that. My shields are safe. They have played this base, but... Oh, no! I poo-poo this base, but it has been useful. I do have my... Oh, here we go. All right, we're going to play this gun tank. Bye-bye. That felt satisfying. I am going to use my Benager on this to clear out this base. Our clock is small. They're going to be able to play a lot of cards or one really big card next turn. We got to get rid of stuff. We've also seen a second base. We're not likely to see many more. One probably at the most. And I want to put it on here because this is a unit I might use to attack creatures if I have to, and I'd rather it be this beefier duo Leo. Away you go. See, but if this had been a 5 unit, I would have been pretty screwed. This wouldn't have even been a good play. Well, it probably would have been a necessary play, but it wouldn't have been a good play. All right, well, I get my Benager back anyway. I'm not upset about that. But I will... If they have another base, I play the Benager on it. I just think I want to play 2 units. I think I might need to play 2 units. And we know we could find a pilot that could link with this, right? We could rush, we could rush, we could rush. For our last 2 units, we'll play these ones out where we know we can't rush them. And again, we might need to get aggressive defensively next turn. Ah, another base! But unfortunately for them, they've all been this 4-cost base, and that's not a concern for us. And it looks like they're not going to be able to stop us. Even if we didn't have that Benager back, we still were going to be able to get through. Yeah, nothing we can sadly put... Oh, we could put this one on the gun tank, just for fun. Yeah, it didn't really matter much, but was something we could do. And now we can leave our Benager alone. Because our gun tank's going to finish off white base. Traitor! Treachery is afoot. Gun cannon assaulting. Side 7. You hate to see it. And I'll let a little gun tank kind of go through. Attack our opponent. So no base. They had a 4th base. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen 4. Maybe once I've seen 4 bases, but didn't include them all. But they were all 0/4s. That is unfortunate. Glad we didn't let them get to next turn. This Big Zom would have been a big pain. Oh, they had some nice cards in hand, but they cost a lot. They would have been able to play a unit and one of these, though. But, like, that was the point of being aggressive, right? That was why I wanted to have these lower-cost units. We didn't even get to see any of our super fancy cards. Just with the meat and potato stuff, that was what was able to get us through. Who knows how long these cards were sitting in their hands, right? Like, maybe that's why they wanted all these bases. They happened to draw them, but they wanted to get to these cards and take advantage of them. That would make a lot of sense to me in deck building decisions. If you have a lot of these high-cost big boy units, you might want to include more bases than not. But again, that might just not be an option you had. We didn't have that option. We had to play accordingly, though, and by doing that, we put ourselves in a good position to win. The great base debate, I'm sure, will go on until the end of time in the world of Gundam TCG Sealed. In my mind, just like with which starter deck's the best, just don't worry about it. Work with what you got. Thank you, and there'll be one more video in the series.